दबाव ज़्यादा चल रहा था उस समय.
During the anti-Naxal operations, the central government allocated 3,700 crore rupees for operations, training and rehabilitation. Since 2017, around 4,000 crore rupees in special central assistance has also been provided to these affected areas.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9, English news as it should be.
Hello and welcome. You are watching In Your Interest. I am Krishna Kumar. Across India, millions of people give what they can to their temples. They drop notes into donation boxes. They offer gold, silver ornaments handed down through generations. They give without asking for a receipt because they trust that what they give in the name of God will be used in the name of God. Now that trust is being tested in two of the country's most revered shrines. Let's first look at the unfolding crisis in Ayodhya. A massive 200 crore rupee donation scam has been alleged within the temple trust. A whistleblower who happens to be a former accounts officer claims he was pushed out of his job just for exposing these deep-rooted irregularities. The allegation states that cash offerings have been underreported for years and valuable gold and silver donations have vanished entirely. The situation has escalated so rapidly that Uttar Pradesh's Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has stepped in, ordering a high-level special investigation team to probe the matter. The Chief Minister has asked the public not to jump to conclusions and to give the team 15 days to unearth the absolute truth. Now, as we speak, this 3-member SIT is deep inside the Ayodhya management structure, focusing entirely on a 50-member temple donation team. Investigators are auditing bank records, donation logs, and scanning hours of security camera footage. The probe has revealed alarming cases of sudden unexplained wealth among specific staff members. A team member named Tinnu Yadav is currently under the scanner for holding assets worth nearly 50 crore rupees. Another staff member, Manish Yadav, has been questioned, leading to the direct recovery of 36 lakh rupees in cash. Furthermore, officials are investigating extensive land and asset purchases made by another employee, K.D. Tiwari. The team has already seized luxury SUVs, expensive smartphones, and bundles of cash from various suspects on the payroll. Meanwhile, over thousands of miles away in the south of India, the iconic Sabarimala temple is dealing with its own high-stakes crisis. The Kerala High Court is now actively monitoring an SIT probe into what is being called a gold heist. This investigation centers around structural gold cladding projects completed during a restoration project. The National Metallurgical Laboratory has flagged major discrepancies in both the total weight and the overall purity of the gold used on the shrine structures. The High Court has made it clear that this investigation cannot drag on forever, giving the team a strict deadline to submit a detailed report. So, when you put these two cases side by side, what do you see? In Ayodhya, the concern is about cash. Notes given by devotees, allegedly underreported, allegedly diverted. The probe is run by a state-appointed team and the politics around it is sharp. In Sabarimala, the concern is about gold, precious metal that was meant to clad a sacred structure, allegedly removed and replaced. That probe is monitored by the judiciary, and the tension there is between the courts and the temple board. Different metals, different states, different mechanisms, but the same broken link in both. The point where a devotee's faith meets a system that was supposed to protect it. Experts believe it's time to permanently clean up how our major shrines operate. There is an urgent need to digitize every asset record, trace precious metals electronically, automate cash sorting, and enforce regular audits by independent bodies. Until these steps are taken, the hard-earned money of the common devotee and his trust will remain vulnerable. Big questions that we are asking. What's the best way to balance religious traditions with the need for transparency and accountability in temple finances? Do these cases show that temple managements need more professional oversight rather than relying only on traditional systems? Should all major temples in India be brought under a uniform system of independent audits and digital record keeping? Joining us now are Vikram Singh, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh; Rahul Ishwar, social rights activist; Nikhil Jain, political analyst, joining us. Thank you, all of you, for taking time out to be with us. I'm going to begin by asking, Rahul Ishwar a straightforward question because, Rahul Ishwar is set to join us very soon. We also are being joined at this stage by Amitosh Parikh, spokesperson of the VHP, also with us. Amitosh Parikh, thank you for being with us. Let me begin by asking you, tell us, to put it simply, how you being part of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, when you have heard all that you've heard about what's going on with the Ayodhya Temple Trust, how do you view it?
Yeah, thank you so much, Krishna, for starting with me. Look, it's a very serious matter, and it starts with a grave concern for Hindu devotees. And when I say the concern, I'm not picking up those who are just involved in installing the very construction of the temple and was questioning the myth of the characteristics of Ram as well. Now, there are two sides, Krishna. The one side are the devotees of Lord Rama who are facing very serious concern about the issues and mere allegations, and the other side is just politicalizing the matter for their own whims and caprices and for benefits, looking for the 2027 election. Now, when I see the matter holds three grounds. The first, there is still a SIT probe into investigation. 15 days are required. To the Chief Minister visits clarify a lot of things, that we should wait for the 15 days. When we have struggled for 500 years, we can wait for 15 days as well. Second, all those people who are creating a mere allegations to disharm and distort the very sanctity of Lord Rama have no information, have no sources. And therefore, anything which has been said through media or by any way hamper the investigation report. Now coming on the third thing, who are they relying on Mahipal Singh and Santosh Dubey? Well, it was very amazed and astonished to witness they were not aware about Santosh Dubey till last day. Because one of the party, Samajwadi Party, was busy in shooting them when being Kar Sevak, and another Congress was swearing for the name of Babri. And I think the SIT investigation, now another point of law comes into the picture, Krishna, that SIT has been formulated without the formal FI. I believe there are a lot of cases where the state government is having a discretionary power, not arbitrary, discretionary power to create an SIT. And the state government has done so on the request of trust, not on the Congress, not on Samajwadi Party. And I believe still questioning the SIT, making them their own questionable, that they could have challenged the very establishment of the SIT, but they didn't. They should have filed an FIR against the theft if they have any information subject to the same subject to the thing, but they didn't. No FIR, no complaint. Two things happened after the SIT, FIR filed or complaint filed, but SIT has already been formed. So I believe we should wait for 15 days. The SIT is conducting all requirements investigation, and we should investigate. We should have trust on the SIT.
Okay, I'm going to take this across to Mr. Vikram Singh. Mr. Vikram Singh, thank you for being with us. Tell us, this is a case, the way the probe is going on right now, there's been recovery of cash, there's been recovery, clear irregularities of the staff members, no less, isn't it, Mr. Vikram Singh?
Very much. Good evening, Mr. Krishna Kumar and gentlemen. I have a fundamental disagreement over the premise that the SIT can do justice to such a sensitive matter.
Okay.
FIR is the first step to criminal investigation, and there's a world of difference between inquiry and investigation. As they say in the SIT, they've asked for anyone who has documentary proof. Well, if you rely only on documentary proof, you're only relying on the evidence being provided to you. You're not inquiring or investigating anything. And if you're not inquiring and investigating anything, well, the buck stops at your table. It is not something like a communal riot where you can get away. You have not only to identify the culprits, you have to identify the loopholes, you have to identify also the breach in the system, and also how did it happen that you did not issue a single receipt for the gold and the silver jewelry that you received. I mean, this was a mess up. One has to try really very hard to create a mess up like this. This is not an ordinary theft. It is a criminal breach of trust, CBT, as it is known in the police lingo. And 4 FIR drafts are languishing in the police station at Ayodhya. I would say that the law takes precedence over administrative expediency. And therefore, I would say that FIR, lodge an FIR, create 2 more SITs. But for heaven's sake, investigate and inquire both at the same time. There's something known as prima facie justice, and this could have been much earlier.
Okay, Nikhil Jain, let me bring you in here at this stage. There is a probe, there is a special investigation team. Staff members, the 3 of them have been identified already. There could be more. In a sense, it's not like the matter is being taken lightly by the authorities.
So, Krishna, I did not want to go into the history of how the Ram Janmabhoomi temple came into being, but since Mr. Parekh has raised that, let me remind him that the VHP workers who were shot at under the Mulayam Singh government, under the SP government, the chief secretary of the government later on went to become the principal secretary of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and later on went to become the chairman of the Ram Janmabhoomi Trust. And I think this is the problem that we're facing, that every time there is an allegation against a temple committee or a mosque committee for that matter of any sort of financial irregularities, usurping land, usurping donations, it straight away is painted as an allegation on the god or the deity itself. The moment you raise a voice against something wrong happening in a temple, somebody will come and say that this is an allegation against Lord Ram. The moment you make an allegation against something happening in a mosque, somebody will come and say this is an allegation against Prophet Muhammad himself. But that is not the case. It is corrupt individuals, whether it is a religious figurehead or a political appointee. It is these corrupt individuals who are engaging in all of this. And I completely agree with your premise that this is something that, we need to take greater steps in order to ensure greater transparency. But that cannot happen so long as people managing these committees keep on hiding behind the veil of religion. Also, I'd like to enlarge the scope of the discussion that we're having. I don't think, donations being stolen from the Ram Mandir is an issue only for the devotees of the Hindu faith. I think it is an issue for every single citizen of India who takes pride in our heritage, who takes pride in our culture. This sort of stuff should not happen with any temple, any mosque. There should be transparent investigations. People should be promptly suspended. But what we often see is that the political bosses and the political masters who appoint these appointees are often seen giving some sort of cover fire to the accused. And that is, that to me, as a citizen, shows very little faith that whatever inquiry or investigation may happen, that'll be a fair.
Okay, let me then bring this back to Amitosh Parekh. Amitosh Parekh, one way or the other, a temple of so much importance, right now going through this kind of a scam, this kind of a scandal, so to speak, the questions will be about balancing religious traditions with the need for transparency and accountability in temple finances.
Exactly. Look, when we heard the interview of Nrpendra Mishra, one of my friends has mentioned his name, but I don't want to go into technical details, whether he was a chief secretary or a chief minister, there's a difference. But coming on the very point, the Nrpendra Mishra has stated, technically he has stated, because everything will become after 15 days in SIT finding report. He stated there was an agreement between the trust and the bank. And the bank has a sole responsibility and accountability to take care into investigation and to care into visibility, every counting taking into the picture in the temple premises. So end of the day, who is more responsible? Despite of the fact, we are not standing, nobody is standing with the accused, nobody is defending the theft. We all standing on the same side. But standing on the same side doesn't mean that we're towing the party lines. The one who's doing politicalizing, the one who are doing politics on this matter are just towing their party lines. Look, if I file a case before the court and rather than taking for the judgment and waiting for the judgment, I started questioning the very sanctity of the judiciary, where will I go? There is a procedure too. You can file an application. You get your case transferred. If you have no trust in the SIT, you could have filed it transfer. You could have filed. You could approach to the court as well. But nobody is approaching to the court. Everyone is giving their mere allegations and the sources before the media trial. Everyone is coming and concluding the theft has been committed. These are the people who have been committed theft, but they are not going to the SIT and giving their information. To the Chief Minister has said the same thing. If you have a documentary evidences, come and give it to the SIT. Why not giving to the SIT? After the SIT completed their investigation, if you are not satisfied with the same, you can still challenge the SIT investigation. Let me get you back to their history. In 2024, the Kedarnath Badrinath Trust Committee has also been challenged with a mere allegation of gold theft. SIT committed their investigation. Nothing found. If you talk about Tamil Nadu, gold has been melted. If you talk about DMK, we talk about Guruvar Temple. There are a lot of temples in south part of the country where the TDD is involved. The state controls have been involved. I believe it's a matter of corrupt politics. It's a matter of corrupt accused. It's a matter of corrupt individuals, and they will come forward when the SIT investigation get completed unbiasedly.
Okay, Vikram Singh, I'm going to bring this back to you because, he's taking the examples of so many temples, and that is exactly what we're asking here. It's not just the temple in Ayodhya, there is the Sabarimala temple case as well. A lot of money that was given by devotees, a lot of wealth given by devotees, the trust, the faith with which devotees go to temples in India and, and give their offerings, yearning for something. That trust will be shaken severely because Sabarimala has that kind of following. The Ayodhya temple has that kind of a following. So there needs to be some kind of standardization, isn't it? The kind of oversight that these temple committees will need to have from authorities in law and order.
Mr. Krishna Kumar, I would say I could enumerate 10 infirmities right across. We allowed the grass to grow underneath our feet and we did not intervene when we had the option to do so. And criminal jurisprudence is not a matter of choice. It is a matter that one has to faithfully ensure. FIR, lodging of the FIR, 4 drafts are languishing at the police station in Ayodhya. Why have they not been registered? And SIT, I would repeat and reinforce, can only inquire. It cannot investigate. It is only after the FIR that the matter can be investigated proactively with collection of evidence, recovery of the looted property, identification of the subjecting to the narco analysis and also the polygraph test, which no SIT on the planet can do. Let us not put the cart before the horse. And indeed, if I'm serious about it, justice must not only be done, but it must seem to be done that there is seriousness and there is purity and integrity of intent. I would have been very happy that under these circumstances, that the faith of the people was given the topmost priority, which I'm sure it is being given. But for whatever reasons, I would feel putting the cart before the horse. I hope I'm wrong. Is there an attempt to delay the proceedings, to give the advantage to the accused and do away with the spoils of the theft? I hope I'm wrong. Okay.
Nikhil Jain, let me also ask you, as far as the Sabarimala case is concerned, there the tension is between the courts and the temple board. It is a probe that is monitored by the judiciary over there.
I think that is a right approach to take because, like I mentioned in the past, that a lot of these temple boards in the country, across states, across political lines, are actually staffed by people who are political appointees. How do you really expect a fair investigation when there's an allegation against a person from the CPM and there's a government of the CPM, or for that matter, even the Congress? Let me be non-partisan for a moment. And, when there is an allegation against a CPM leader and it is the Congress government that is making those, that is investigating into it, it is the Congress government that raised an issue during the elections. Do we really expect a fair inquiry? I don't think so. So the simple rule has to be that investigations of this nature cannot be left to the politicians. It has to be under the ambit of the judiciary. Whoever may be ruling, BJP, Congress, CPM, doesn't matter. It should be fair. It should be under the watch of the judiciary. And like Mr. Singh has already mentioned, it should be an investigation with all the powers that an investigative agency has and not merely an inquiry. And one more thing I would like to point out, Mr. Parekh said that when the matter is under investigation or before the courts, why should you agitate right now? Why can you not wait? I don't think that is how it is supposed to be in a democracy. The VHP was agitating while the Ram Janmabhoomi matter was before the courts. The BJP was agitating while all the scam allegations from 2010 were before the courts. And this is how it should be. You do not take away the pressure from the systems and the powers that be just because something is pending before them.
Amitosh Parekh, you wanted to come in.
Krishna, I believe everyone is well aware of the history who was putting 25 advocates who were giving their statements that please do not give judgment right now as a matter of election into there, who were filing an affidavit in 2007. But despite of the fact, I never wanted to fall into that trap because it's not a debate right now. The debate is right now when temple are becoming a mere part of allegations and politics. We need to discuss it. We need to find out a solution very specifically. And I believe Madurai bench has recently given a very good judgment. Madurai bench has stated that the government cannot take a temple money for their own commercial purposes. The temple amounts has been taken for the commercial purposes. The temple money used for the mortgages in the in NBFCs and banks. So I believe the temple funds. And if state is controlling temples, we have an urge that every religious institution should come into the control of state. Why we shouldn't be talking about the mosque and gurudwaras? Everything and churches, everything should become under the government, under the control of state, and therefore the political action should be ended up. But right now, the SIT investigation into the pending scenario, we should wait for the SIT 15 days after the charge sheet will be filed. If you're not satisfied with the charge sheet, you can go to the approach to the court. But despite of the facts coming and just giving a mere allegation, just prolonging the matter and hurting the sentiments of Hindu who are connected and watch Lord Ram as their devotees.
Okay. Vikram Singh, okay. Nikhil Jain wanted to come in. Nikhil, go ahead.
See, this is also the problem. Every time that the BJP or any person related to an organization that is affiliated with the BJP tries to make this boogie that temples are under state control and mosques are not, and in doing so, they're essentially advocating for the control of temples to go into hands which would not be subject to the kind of transparency and review mechanisms that the state is. If the state does something wrong, I can go and file a writ petition. There are 1,000 different things that can be done. The Prevention of Corruption Act will apply and a lot of other things will apply. But the moment you give it into the hands of a coterie that is not really under anybody's check, there is a higher likelihood of corruption. And let me remind my friend Mr. Parekh that most of the mosques, madrasas, and Islamic institutions in the country fall within the Waqf boards, which are agencies of the state. Every state has a Waqf board. Waqf board is part of the state government. The appointees are from the state, as is the case in the Ram Janmabhoomi Trust.
Well, I believe, Krishna, that's not a matter right now. We have already been witness how Umid portal work and how many registered documents have been come forward. So I believe the Waqf is one of the major, it's a corrupt in the corporate party. It's a corporate company. It's not for the matter of benefit. How many people have died, and we have seen Murshidabad as well. So I believe it's not Waqf, and Waqf is an autonomous body, sir. When we talk about the control, we talk about the proper management of the trust by the trust of the mosque and the temples and the churches. And therefore, speaking of the Waqf doesn't make the sense.
Okay. We also have Rahul Ishwar joining us. Rahul, great to have you with us. Rahul, you wanted to come in on the debate. Go ahead.
Now, two submissions. I am a Hindu right-wing activist, and as a practicing proud Hindu, it pains me when Lord Ram and Lord Ayyappa are betrayed. The same thing happened in Sabarimala, where gold loot was there, gold heist was there, and it is very painful to hear Lord Sri Ram, that temple, having such a irregularity. So I think very fast SIT probe, court-monitored probe is what we need. And we have instituted something here back in Kerala. That means we have made temples under Devasam Board, under RTI, Right to Information. I was the person who initiated it. As a devotee, I have the right to know where my money goes. And I hope right to information should be applied to temple, church, mosque, ashram, and all spiritual institutions. And a believer of that particular denomination should have the right to know where the particular fund goes, and need not be a follower of other faith or other denomination should be able to apply. These are the nuances we can find out. But right to information should be applied to temples, and any such irregularity beyond the money scars the soul of devotee. And Lord Ram is the soul of India. Ramarajya was Gandhiji's idea. Imam-e-Hind was Allama Muhammad Iqbal's idea. But when Lord Ram's temple has such kind of a very bad thing, or Lord Ayyappa's temple, it paints a devotee to the core. So beyond politics, let us not politicize it. Beyond politics, we should deal with these things, and those who are guilty should be punished, should be made a model of, and those which have been looted should be taken back. This is the right tone and tonality beyond any politics. We will all have our politics, either BJP leaning or Congress leaning or SV leaning or any other party. But this is a topic we should, delve deep beyond politics.
It has to go beyond politics, and that's the reason why I'm asking an apolitical question. I was going to ask a question to Mr. Vikram Singh, and then I'll ask a question to you as well, Rahul Ishwar. Vikram Singh, is it time to nationalize all temples? Is it time to bring all temples in the country under state control, at least when it comes to getting the right kind of control and oversight over their finances?
Obviously, I would say some kind of a structured autonomy. The temple should have autonomy, but under strict controlled use of technology like, I would say, AI, smart CCTVs, not dumb CCTVs as we had at the Ram Lala temple, something that has AI flagging the appropriate teachers, and the counting by robots instead of a human hand. There's so much that we could have done in a scale of 1:10. We have done only 2 out of 10. But again, to my learned panelists, I would say that no SIT on the planet has the right to submit a charge sheet. It is only an investigating agency that can submit a charge to the court of law. SIT can only submit its finding.
Yeah, and that's an important point, isn't it, Rahul?
Can I point out one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I point out one very important thing? See, we Hindus, especially right-leaning Hindus, have been fighting for Mukt Karo Mandir from temple control. The point is, whether it is left, right, or center, when the politicians come, they will have a critical say in temple affairs. So, according to Article 25 and 26, what we need is court-monitored supervision over temples. For example, Kerala High Court is the body which came out with the gold heist in Sabarimala. Kerala High Court find it out because Kerala High Court has an autonomy or a monitoring power over Sabarimala. Similarly, the temple should be having autonomy freedom because it is Article 25 and 26 protected. We cannot violate constitutional fundamental rights. At the same point of time, regarding money, some kind of monitoring mechanism should be needed. That's the reason why it's a very well-studied proposal. Right to information being applied to temples, churches, and mosques because they take devotees' money. And court monitoring. If there are courts, nobody will have a second opinion because we all agree that courts are the most responsible and the most credible institution in India along with the Indian Army. So I think such court monitored stuff should be there. And I would humbly request our Congress friends also to join in such positive causes. Not make use of this occasion to criticize Yogi ji or any other thing that is immaterial. Whether it is A, B or C, whether it is Akhilesh Yadav ji, Rahul Gandhi ji who is celebrating his birthday today or Yogi ji, this is not politics and there is a deep spiritual pain that a devotee, experiences. So I hope such positive suggestions should come from, people and not politicization.
Okay, Nikhil Jain, do you think it's time then? It's important to keep politics away, then it is important for everybody to keep politics away.
No, I don't agree with the premise that you should keep politics away from everything when there is a political party who has made the Ram temple as if it's a personal political agenda of theirs, as if they're the only ones who work for it, they're the only ones who've done anything. When something wrong happens and it is being done under a committee that has been appointed by those very same politicians, people close to that very same party have been appointed, it's only fair for any political party, citizen or rights group to question that political party. And mind you, this is not the only financial irregularity so far as the Ram Janmabhoomi temple is concerned. There are a number of others. I myself am privy to a case, but because the person who got it to me has disappeared, I can't put it out in public domain. I'll tell you sometime off camera.
Okay. Amitosh Parekh, you wanted to comment?
Yeah, Krishna. Well, I believe one of my friends, Nikhil, has stated that stop making it personal political. I believe one of his very secular Jairam Ramesh said faith is a personal thing. We have a faith in Ram and therefore it was personal for us. We took bullets on our chest and therefore we took Ram from tent to temple. It's personal for us and therefore everyone, rather than just making a mere allegation, it's a hard time. And I always believe in one saying that when shark bites, you don't bleed. So it's hard time. We should wait for the SIT get investigated. If you don't find any biasness, if you find biasness, you have all legal remedies available for you. But and in the very end, nobody is supporting and nobody is defending the accused.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm afraid I'll leave it at that. Completely out of time here on that conversation. I'm going to thank everybody. Vikram Singh, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, Rahul Ishwar, Nikhil Jain, and Amitosh Parekh of the VHP. Thank you all of you for taking time out to be with us here on In Your Interest. And with that, we take a very short breather. We'll be back with our other big debate on the other side. Keep it with News9.
Your roots, dump in your bones, froze be your Amul दूध and go for gold. आगे आगे बढ़ती है दुनिया, Amul दूध पीती है दुनिया.
भारत पहला ऐसा देश बना था जिसने चंद्रमा के साउथ पोल पर पहुंचने का इतिहास रचा. वैज्ञानिकों की मेहनत से भारत गगनयान की उड़ान भी भरेगा और आने वाले समय में भारत अपना स्पेस स्टेशन भी बनाएगा.
In these 12 years of development under the Modi government, from space to artificial intelligence, from quantum research to green technology, India has not only moved ahead rapidly but has also shown a new direction to the world. Till 2014, India's space agency ISRO had launched 35 foreign satellites. Today, this number has increased to 399. In June 2025, under the Axiom 4 mission, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla's successful journey to the International Space Station showcased India's growing strength in the space sector to the world.